Memory transcript, Salva, Jalini Hive Estate Duchess. Standardized human time, March 5th, 2137. Come on, move it, drones. We're on a tight schedule. Queen Jalini is going to be ticked if another one of these shipments are late. I buzz at the assembly line of drones. We are so far behind that even I'm helping by wrapping up bales so that they can be loaded onto the trucks, a task that would normally be beneath my station. Acknowledged, working faster, tired, can't lift bale, assisting W12. The worker drones continue to rattle off their reports, and the commander drones begin to disseminate my command and coordinate the workers' efforts more efficiently. We all continue working through our exhaustion until the truck is finally loaded and sent off to the grain processing plant. My 6 legs collapse out from under me once everything is done for the day, and all I can do is lay on the concrete loading dock with the sun beating down on me as it falls further and further toward the horizon, threatening to cook me alive in my exoskeleton. I better get back to the estate for some much-needed rest, because this nightmare is just going to repeat itself every day until all of Queen Jalini's fields have been harvested. Duchess hurt? I spot one of the smaller male drones skittering up to me. I can smell its concern through my antennae, which is appreciated, but unless it can somehow slow down time, it can't help me. No, ma four, I am just tired. You need rest? Yes, I need a lot more rest than I have time for. Go finish putting everything away and then return to the estate. Make sure you drink enough water. Yes, Duchess. He skitters back to wherever he came from, leaving me to my brooding. I finally drag my legs back under me and begin to trudge back home. The sun starts to set behind me as I walk, casting the sky into a beautiful range of purples. The sky continues to darken as I finish the short walk from the loading dock to the estate. Now that I'm closer, I spot Mother with her group of drones out front, having just returned from some of the fields further away. Just as I'm about to call out to her, I spot one of my field workers tearing through the freshly cut fields from the direction of where they were out harvesting today. As she gets closer, I can smell her panic and confusion. There better not be an equipment failure right now. Hey, W7, what are you doing? Come here now. She smells reassured now that she has proper orders, but she still smells terrified. Intruder! We saw intruder! Strange mammal intruder! We saw! I not know what it is! Help, please! Confused! Uncertain! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Way too many words, way too fast. Breathe deeply and tell me what is wrong. Did you get all the equipment put away? Where are the rest of the workers? I don't care about pest control right now. I just need all the harvesters stored and ready to go for tomorrow. I don't have the patience or energy to deal with drones overreacting to wildlife. She takes a few deep breaths as instructed and then speaks again, slowly this time. Person intruder. Mammal person intruder. Approach drones. Commander orders. Tell you. Commanders and drones in equipment barn. Commanders and drones hiding. Was scared to leave barn. Had to tell you. I still have no idea what is going on, but the commanders usually don't lose their cool like this. They are still drones though, even if they have a few extra brain cells. Follow me, W7. I continue toward the estate with W7 hot on my trail. Mother, could you help me with something really quickly? I can't understand what this drone is trying to say. Queen Jalini smells happy at my request, though her own exhaustion is readily apparent.
Of course, Salva, what seems to be the problem?
Go on, tell your queen what the problem is. I motion for W7 to step forward, which she does. She then bows briefly before addressing her queen. Queen Jalini, intruders, strange mammal intruders, scared. Drones and commanders, scared.
Ah, you poor thing. Did an animal from the forest spook you?
Not animal, wore fabrics, held equipment, person mammal. Queen Jalini waved her antennae at me to gather my attention.
Did the commanders tell you about a head injury?
No, they did not, Mother. But if her report is to be believed, they have all barricaded themselves into the equipment barn. I'll go get them in the morning, when it's time to start.
You will do no such thing. We are not abandoners. We treat our drones with the respect they deserve. Now go get them and bring them back to the estate.
But Mother, they'll be fine there. There are sleeping quarters and food there for when storms make travel back to the estate dangerous. They will be fine, Mother. Queen Jalini clicks her mandibles and begins to smell slightly of irritation.
They are all terrified. Go help your drones. This is not up for debate.
I attempt to argue with her more, but there is no point once she's made up her mind. Yes, Queen Mother. I turn to leave, but I'm stopped by Mother speaking, her tone softer than when she issued her command.
Salva, take a soldier with you. It's getting dark, and we're not quite sure what they all saw. I want you to be safe.
I gesture with my antennae and bow before turning back to the task at hand. I enter the estate's main gate and make my way over to the drone's quarters. On my way, I encounter a small group of workers, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Drones, I need one of the soldiers. Find one and instruct them to meet me at the front gate. Yes, Duchess. We are searching, looking for soldier drone. I could go inside and call one up on the intercom, but this is a whole lot less walking for me. Our 3 soldiers will be out on patrol at this time, so this is the next best solution for finding them. I make my way back to the gate and watch the rest of Mother's group enter and make their way to the drone's quarters and mess hall. Mother is quite successful. She inherited this estate from her mother and has since increased its size and value by a wide margin. She began cultivating and selling Quantai grain instead of the normal Kalmori grain, which is significantly more labor-intensive, but also sells for a small fortune. As of now, her operation has increased to 34 personnel, 20 worker drones, 4 commander drones, 3 soldier drones, 4 male drones, and 3 queens, herself and her 2 daughters. Of course, my little sister is still too young to be of any help, so for now it is just Mother and I running the estate. After a few minutes of waiting, I spot S4 making his way to me. Mother wasted no expense on our estate security. Shortly before my sister hatched, we lost S3 to a group of feral drones. So she sent her remaining 3 soldiers to one of the warrior queens for official military training and bought them the best equipment money could buy. All 3 are armed with brand new auto-loading rifles, a marvel of engineering that shoots a bullet every time the trigger is pulled without needing to manually cock the weapon every time. You summoned me, Duchess. Yes, I did, S4. I need you to accompany me to the equipment barn. Some of the drones saw something out there that spooked them while they were putting away the tractors. Now we have to go get them and bring them home. Of course, lead the way, Duchess. Soldiers are actually just modified commander drones. They have a higher level of intelligence than simple workers, reinforced chitin on their heads, chests, forearms, and front legs, and they have pincers that protrude past their mandibles' capacity of cracking exoskeletons. Plus, they are significantly larger, being slightly larger than myself and slightly smaller than a full-grown queen. We exit through the main gate and work our way to the vehicle bay, where I commandeer one of the empty trucks. I climb into drive and S4 gets into the passenger rest platform. The engine roars to life as plumes of smoke are ejected from the exhaust due to the cold start. I throw it into gear and we're off, on our way to rescue the drones from some unknown woodland creature. We drive down the bumpy dirt road as the sun finally begins to dip below the horizon, filling the sky with pinks and purples and causing the unharvested fields to shimmer red. I get distracted by the view, and before I know it, I can barely see anything. I flip on the headlights illuminating the uneven road, and we continue pressing on toward the equipment barn. The ride is mostly silent. The soldiers tend to be more reserved in the presence of the queens. They have a job to do, and talking would be a distraction from that. I've tried previously to get them to loosen up, but they prefer it this way, and I will respect that. We crest one final hill, and we can finally see the equipment barn a short distance away. I pull up out front and flip off the truck, but as soon as I step out, I notice that there is something wrong. S4 realizes something is amiss as well and unslings her rifle. Duchess, the sun sets in that direction, not that direction. I look the way she indicated, and I can see a faint glow coming from over the tops of the trees from the forest. I wave my antennae around and pick up on the smell of smoke. A fire? Why was there no mention of a fire in W7's report? I do not have the answer to that question, Duchess. I know that. The question was rhetorical. Let's just get the drones loaded up. Me and S4 walk up to the side door and try the door handle. It's locked, so I go with plan B. "This is your Duchess speaking. Open this door," I commanded as the two of us stood out front, illuminated by the headlights of the truck. I hear fast footsteps and one drone slipping and eating it as they scramble to obey my order. They really must be stressed out if this is how they are reacting. A moment later, the door flies open and C3 emerges. "Commander Drone C3, I expect a good explanation for all of this." "Yes, Duchess." There was a strange intruder that attempted to communicate with one of the worker drones. "I had them all hide in here and sent a messenger to you." The intruders returned to the woods, but then we heard gunshots and smelled smoke. "So we stayed hidden here," she says in a barely put-together panic. Gunshots? This could be something more serious. Maybe the commanders weren't overreacting after all. "Load all the drones into the truck, then take it back to the estate and tell Queen Jalini to send S1 and S2 to meet me here, and to call the local law and order office and have them send us a warrior queen." "Yes, Duchess." C3 wasted no time following my orders. She loaded up the truck and took off in record time, leaving me and S4 behind to investigate. "Here you go, Duchess." I turn to see S4 handing me a flashlight, and I take it from her. She retrieves a second one from her bag and spends the next few minutes fiddling with screws until she had it affixed to the barrel of her rifle. If the light begins to dim, remove the cap on the back and wind the shaft until it returns to normal. "Got it. Well, we're just wasting time standing around here, S4. Let's see what's going on around here." "I would recommend waiting for the other soldier drones, Duchess. My ability to protect you in this environment alone is limited." "Your concern is noted, S4, but I want to go adventuring." "Let's go." I lead S4 through the field toward the tree line of the forest. Our dim flashlight beams and the stars above us are the only light sources other than the mysterious glow from further into the forest. We trek through the large pine trees and the thick undergrowth as the smell of smoke gets stronger and the glow becomes more and more ominous. As we're walking, S4 suddenly grabs a hold of my rear legs. "Hold on, Duchess. We're getting close. Stay behind me." I allow S4 to take the lead, and we begin to creep forward towards a clearing up ahead that I can now see. We both flip off our flashlights, and my breath then catches in my throat from what I see before me. There is a large metal thing that is half burrowed into the dirt, having cleaved a scar into the forest. It left burning rubble along its trail. But more than that, there were creatures walking around it. They were talking too, but I couldn't understand what they were saying. The majority of them were bald and wearing green textiles with blue helmets, but there were a few other mammals that were covered with fur and wore only a textile around their torsos. There was also a small group that was resting on the ground, all wearing reflective suits, while one of the creatures with a blue helmet watched over them with a rifle in her hands. As I took in the scene, I heard a crack of something moving behind me, so I focused my vision in that direction to see a group of the blue helmets had snuck up on us. S4's protective instincts immediately kick in. She grabs my shoulder and throws me to the ground as she moves to stand over me. She raises her weapon and bang! S4 falls on top of me as her rifle clatters to the ground. I pulled myself out from under her and tried to help her, but I quickly realized she was going to need a nurse. There is a section of her chest chitin that is shattered and blown apart from the impact of a bullet. Before I can even think of what to do, several meaty pairs of hands grab me and force me into the clearing. I'm then shoved to the ground, and they call out to one of the others in the group in their strange, guttural voices. I'd be fascinated if I wasn't terrified. It looks like they use their mouth to speak as well as eat. Another one of the blue helmets walks up to me and focuses her beady little eyes down on me, before yelling at one of her fluffier companions and points a finger at a group of soldiers that was dragging S4 to join us. "Who are you people?" I ask, causing the strange fleshy creature to jump in alarm at my question. Several of the other blue helmets point their weapons at me, so I cower and begin to beg them to spare me, even though they can't understand me. This was not how this was supposed to go. Memory transcript paused.
Thanks for watching Techno Titan Universe. Subscribe for more.